girls, welcome to day 2 of camp meeting. We have a really exciting program for you again today. We have some activities that I can't wait to participate with you, and we have a very good Bible story. Now, remember our box from yesterday? Well, we have a new item in our box. Let's turn it around this time, shall we? Let's see if we can guess what is inside. It's something red, and well, maybe we'll open it up. Let's see. Let's see what's inside. Wow, look at that. Now this is some yarn, but we can pretend it's a red rope, shall we? And our story has something to do with red ropes today. I wonder what that could be. I can't wait for that story. But before we get to our story, we have our song service, our mission story, and our what? Our activity. So let's start singing.
So we're going to be singing Fishers of Men.
Right. I will make you fishers of men, fishers of men, fishers of men. I will make you fishers of men if you follow me. If you follow me. If you follow me. I will make you fishers of men if you follow me. Hear Christ calling, come unto me, come unto me, come unto me. Hear Christ calling, come unto me, I will give you rest. I will give you rest. I will give you rest. Hear Christ calling, come unto me, I will give you rest. Standing by a purpose for leading God's command.
Hey everybody, we're excited to be with you, and we're also excited to have AJ with us. He and his family were on the trail, and he's going to join us for this song, I've Got a River of Life, and we're right by the river, so we're gonna sing this song. Join us if you would.
I've got a river of life flowing out of me. Makes the lame to walk and the blind to see. Opens prison doors, sets the captives free. I've got a river of life flowing out of me. Spring up, oh well, and make me whole. Spring up, oh well, and make me whole. Spring up, oh well, and give to me that life abundantly. I've got a river of life
song again, Marching to Zion, verses 1 and 2. Come we that love the Lord, and let our joys be known. Join in a song with sweet accord. Join in a song with sweet accord. And thus surround the throne, and thus surround the throne. We're marching to Zion, beautiful, beautiful Zion. We're marching upward to Zion, that beautiful city of God. Let those refuse to sing who never knew our God. My children of the heavenly King, my children of the heavenly King, may speak their joys abroad, may speak their joys abroad. We're marching to Zion, beautiful, beautiful Zion. We're marching upward to Zion, that beautiful city of God.
Good morning again, friends. Today, I want to tell you an exciting story about rock climbing and Jesus. No, not that I know that Jesus ever went rock climbing, though he did climb many mountains. But I want to tell you about how it is that we're able to share Jesus with people through rock climbing. And I'll tell you a little fact about me first. I am a rock climbing guide, and I'm afraid of heights. My job is to take people to the top of mountains, but I'm scared of heights. But you know what? Because Jesus is with me, and I know that I can pray and ask for his comfort, he gives me encouragement and the ability to be able to do this work. But so I want to tell you a fun story about a friend named Ice. Ice is a Thai customer of ours. He's a Buddhist. And he started coming to our gym. He had never been climbing before. He didn't really know much about it. And so we started teaching him. One of our staff actually started teaching him and started building a good relationship with him. And one day I met him and we started climbing together. We started going outside and climbing on high walls, high mountains. And you know, you really build trust and a relationship with someone when they're hanging from the side of a mountain and you're holding the rope and you're the only reason why they're not falling. Somebody really learns to trust you in that situation. And so as we built a better relationship, one day he wrote me and he asked about eating a vegetarian diet or a plant-based diet. Now this was interesting. We had not talked about this yet, but he shared with me that he had seen a documentary and he wanted to know all about it. He wanted to test it. And so I shared with him what I knew about the importance of what we eat, eating fruits and vegetables, trying to stay away from things that are not healthy for us. And so he went to the doctor and he had a blood test to see how his body was working at that time. And then 30 days later, eating only plants, he would test it again to see if his body had gotten any better. And so he did that. And the doctor, when he went to check his blood, the doctor said, "Ooh, this is not healthy. You should not eat like this. You have to eat milk and eggs. Those two things will make you healthy. If you don't have them, you won't be healthy." And he told me later that he was not going to believe that doctor because of what I had told him. And that shocked me because in this country, people very much respect education. And this man was a doctor. I am not a doctor. But because we had trust and a relationship together, he believed me more than what the doctor said. And he did that test and he found that his body was much stronger and much healthier when he let the animal things and the bad products that he was eating go, and he started eating just plants, fruits and vegetables. And so that was very encouraging. He also started coming and praying with us and being more open to talking about Jesus through his lifestyle changes, through his health. So our building trust with people and having that trustworthiness that people can trust us is a really important part in sharing with them about Jesus. So we want our lives to be a good example so that people can trust us and can learn to believe what it is that we share with them. So this week I want you all to try and think of ways that you can build a good relationship with other people and show people that you're trustworthy so that the things that you do and say would influence them for God's kingdom. All right, thank you. God bless.
races are such fun ways to get exercise if everyone's having fun and doing their best. Did you know the Bible talks about races as well? The cool thing is everyone can win in that race because of Jesus. Talk to your parents about that race. But in the meantime, you're probably wondering, what are all these animals doing? Well, instead of watching the races at the Summer Olympics this year, we're doing Animal Olympics. So come along and race with us. Frogs can jump 10 times or more their length. They can also jump 120 times in a row without a break. Go! How many times can you jump? Can you guess what animals we're trying to be like? The great blue heron has the ability to sleep standing on one foot for over an hour. Time yourself standing on one foot with your eyes shut and see how long you can do it.
This is my snow leopard. It can jump 50 feet.
How far can you jump? Make sure to measure.
I can jump 6 feet. I can jump 4 feet.
Ready, set, go!
Inchworms aren't worms at all. They are caterpillars.
That's right, they have feet at the front and feet at the back. Can you walk like an inchworm? Did you know that there are 35,000 different varieties of inchworms in the world? And more than 1,000 in North America. The fastest land animal is the
Cheetah!
It can run 75 miles per hour. That's as fast as we drive on the interstate. But I bet you can run fast too. Ready, set, go! Did you know there's an ant that lives in Australia and Tasmania that's called a jack jumping ant or jumping jack? While jumping jacks are great exercise, I pray you choose to be kinder and gentler than these aggressive and painful creatures. Do you know what kind of animal this is?
It's a kangaroo with a joey.
That's right. Kangaroos are marsupials, animals that have pouches on the mommy's tummy to carry the baby. That could get a little heavy, kind of like these bricks. Can you jump like a kangaroo while carrying something heavy on your tummy, just like the mommy kangaroo carries the joey?
Crabs walk sideways.
That's right. You can do this on your back or on the front, or just walk sideways. Did you know crabs have an exoskeleton? That means the hard part of their body is on the outside. The biggest crab is the Japanese spider crab. Uh-oh, our crabs gave up. Keep going. The Japanese spider crab is 12 feet across. We've been enjoying watching hummingbirds at our house.
You can set up a feeder too and watch your hummingbirds. Hummingbirds can flap their wings 55 times per second.
Wow, how fast can you flap your arms? God made so many interesting animals, didn't he? I bet you can think of some more animals to mimic as you exercise. So keep on racing and stay healthy.
there. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Would you like a room to stay in? Oh, you're just passing through? Oh, well, you're welcome to come in and have a seat. Oh, it's kind of warm out today, isn't it? Wow. Well, where are you from? Oh, really? Wow, that is really far away. That's fantastic. Well, I'm not from here originally. I used to live in Jericho. Actually, I'd really love to share my story with you. Do you have time? Wonderful. Oh, can I pray God's blessing, though? I actually have some food here for you. We could eat together. Would you like that? Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for sending these new friends to me. Please be with us as we have the meal together and as I share with them how you have worked in my life. Thank you. In your heavenly name we pray. Amen. Well, my name is Rahab, and this is my new inn, and it's a little different than my old one. You see, I used to have an inn, a very, very busy, popular inn in Jericho. My inn was part of the city wall, and it was one of the buildings that was part of the city wall. And I'd be the first to admit that I didn't make some real good business decision with my business model for how I ran my inn, and I'm very, very ashamed of that at this point. I wish that I had done things differently, but the beautiful thing is, I messed up big time, and I did not act according to God's law of love, but He forgave me, and He did it through an incredibly amazing turn of events. It all started one day when 2 men came to my inn, which wasn't a big surprise for me, but they seemed a little anxious, and so I welcomed them in just like I did you, and pretty soon, there was pounding on the door. Now, of course, I hadn't asked them questions. It wasn't my place to pry. But as soon as the pounding started, their eyes just opened with fear, and they turned to me, and they're like, "You gotta help us." And the pounding on the door said, "Open up in the name of the king. The men in there, we need them." Oh my. So I had to think quick, and so I took them upstairs onto the roof of my inn, and I hid them under some flax. And I went down, and I told the king's men, 2 men, you're right, they were here. I told them though, the city gate closes at sunset, and so they better head out if they need to get where they're getting, And so I said, they've already gone. I told a lie, I'll be honest, I told a lie. And so the king's men, I said, well, if you went right now, you might catch them. And so they headed probably towards, maybe towards the river, or I don't know, just go catch them. And so pretty soon, the king's men were gone. And I went up to the roof and I spoke with the men. And I figured out pretty quickly who they were. They were some Israelite spies. And I told them, "Oh, we've heard about you. In fact, as soon as we heard about what God did at the Red Sea, we started to get frightened. And then we heard about those Amorite kings, Sihon and Og. Wasn't bad. It wasn't good what happened to them. And our hearts here in Jericho melted with fear. We lost trust in anyone. And we lost courage in them, for I know at least, that the Lord your God, He is the God, the one true God. And I don't know if you noticed, but I've been really nice to you. And I hope you see me as a trustworthy person. And can you spare my family and I when you take the city? Because I know that your God is going to defeat Jericho and all the land of Canaan for that matter. The 2 spies turned to each other and they looked me right in the eye and they said, "It's a deal. Our lives for yours. But here are the 2 stipulations, 2 things that you must do, Rahab, to keep your end of the deal. You must have everyone inside your home who you would like to be saved. So everybody must stay here in your inn. And number 2, this scarlet cord here that you're going to use to help us escape, I think was your idea since you had it there, you need to leave it hanging in your window. And that will be the sign to us, and we'll remember where your inn is so that we can come and get you." She said, "I'll do it." Then she told them, "But when you leave, I'm going to let you escape now, but hide 3 days in the mountains to make sure that our king's men don't find you." And they said, "Thank you for that. That's good advice. We'll do that." So pretty soon they left. They shimmied down the wall out my window down the red cord, the scarlet cord. I left it hanging there. That took some trust and some faith in the true God, because the king's men were already suspicious of me, but God protected me. And soon, the Jordan River was not too many miles away from our city, and our spies said, "Oh, Rahab, you'll never believe what happened. Their priests, they had the special box thing, and the Ark of the Covenant or something they call it, and their feet touched the water, and the water just separated, just like they say happened at the Red Sea. And all the people were able to cross over on dry ground. Can you believe it? And they're camped right outside our city." And at that point, I went to each of my family members' houses and pleaded with them, "Please come stay with me. We are going to be saved if you're with me." And my mother and my father, they all came and stayed with me. And now Joshua truly was delivering the people. And he was delivered, and I believed that Joshua would, through God's help, would deliver his people and that Jericho would fall. Now, they crossed the Jordan, and it was really interesting. The spy said that they picked up like 12 stones in the middle and made a big pile of them. Anyway, pretty soon, things started to happen. 6 days in a row, the Israelites marched around Jericho one time a day, silently. And the seventh day, they walked around 7 times quietly until the end. And at that point, the scariest thing that's ever happened in my entire life happened. They shouted, and the walls of Jericho came tumbling down. It was craziness inside the city. I can't even describe it to you. And out of the dust and everything, and then things started burning, and out of the dust and ashes came the spies. The Israelite spies. They had kept their promise to me, and they came and they said, "Come everyone, hurry quick before everything goes even more crazy." And so they helped us to escape. And my family and I were the only survivors out of Jericho. Wow. Can you believe how God led me? Now I have a new inn, and it's not the same as my old one. I just love to welcome people in and tell them this story like I've told you today. How God led me from making bad choices to being an instrument to help save his people. It's amazing. I don't know if you've heard the news, but God's people have been conquering city after city here in Canaan. And he is with us. Do we make mistakes sometimes? We sure did. But if God can forgive me, he surely can forgive you. Before you go, I want to talk to you, though, about an important word, and that's trustworthiness. I tried to show them that I was trustworthy by looking out for them, the spies. But it's so important that we show people that we're trustworthy by doing what we say we're going to do. There's so much power in that. God is the most trustworthy person or king that I know, right? Whatever he says will surely happen. And we know that when we trust in God, there is power. Power, because he'll separate seas. He will take down walls. Wow. Isn't our God amazing? I'm so thankful that now I serve the one true God, the one who changed me. Has God changed you? Is there anything that you'd like God to change about you? Maybe it's to help you be more trustworthy. Maybe it's to help you be more kind or loving. Maybe it's to help you make good choices and be respectful to other people. God will help you change, and he loves you so, so very much. I hope you enjoy your travel in Canaan. Where are you headed? Really? And you guys are staying in tents too? That's so neat. Well, I know that wherever you go, God will go with you. You can trust him. I know I do. And I hope that you never forget my story, because I think it's rather unforgettable how God has led in my life. Farewell, friends, and I hope that God will always bless and lead you. Thank you for listening, and I hope you come and stay with me again sometime when you can stay for longer. Can you pass those olives? Maybe some of that milk and honey over there sounds good. Have you seen the size of our grapes we have? Oh my! Enjoy, everyone, and I hope you come again soon.
Let's say our memory verse together. Joshua 3:7. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Micah and Aiden are here with me.
Hi!
And we are so glad that you joined us for craft time today. So our craft today is going to be Joshua and the Walls Battle of Jericho. So what you're going to do is you're going to go online to www.aplacetodosomething.com and you are going to download and print off the craft. And it's going to look kind of like this. The supplies we're going to need are some tape or a stapler, if you have a stapler. We also need some markers and colors. And we also need some popsicle sticks or craft sticks. Now, if you don't have a craft stick, that's okay. You could probably go out and maybe get a stick and do that. But basically what we're going to do is make it, this is a little one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna color this, fold it in half, and put it on a popsicle stick so that you can flip it either way, all right? Let's go ahead and let's get started with our coloring. Once you get done coloring it, then we're gonna add the popsicle sticks. You're gonna fold your paper in half. Just like that. Aiden did his. And then you're gonna take your popsicle stick, you're gonna pick whatever color. These are the ones we got from Walmart. And we're going to put them, here I'll take the blue.
I did two.
We're going to put them inside and adhere it, so tape it or glue it. Mine is done. We have Joshua and the priest marching around the city, and then they blow their trumpets and the walls fall down. A little tip for this, I left probably about this much of my popsicle stick in there. I would make it go up a little bit further because then, especially if you don't have really stiff cardstock paper, so you would just put it in a little bit further. So you could hold it more like here, maybe get another inch. Because then that way it's not as floppy. This is a little floppy. I mean, it works, see, it works, but you might want to try. Thanks so much for joining us. I hope you really enjoyed the craft today, that we got to have Joshua
I'm not done.
the walls of Jericho, and then they fall down. We're so glad that you joined us, and we look forward to seeing you later. Well, take care. Bye-bye.
Well, I'm excited about the crafts and all of the stories, and we're gonna be setting up our own tent out there.
Well, I've had a great time today, haven't you? And I know we have another program coming up this afternoon, so don't forget that. But before we leave, I want to remind you what a power we have in the trusting the Lord, right? We learned that in our story today, so don't forget that. Don't forget the power we have in trusting Jesus. And I'll see you this afternoon.